This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With the all-new Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from good to excellent. Introducing the new Sleep Score on Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Sunday morning. And Sunday mornings, we always check on Lynn's Warriors on who's taking care of the kids and to make sure we're taking care of the kids. Well, Lynn, there was a lot of news this week. You attended a White House conference?
John, there is excellent news coming out of the White House this week, and that is about the Department of Education. President Trump issued an executive order dismantling the Department of Education. Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education, is on a 50-state tour as we speak. She's going to every state, John, to talk to parents, teachers, and even kids to how we can really build up and empower our kids. Because, John, national report cards came out about 2 months ago. Every grade is failing, K through 12, in the United States, and that is unacceptable. That is math, science, reading, comprehension, also critical thinking, critical analysis. The kids need help. So let's get into what this Department of Education is and what it does and why the president wants to get rid of this. I mean, it was established in 1979, federal cabinet level agency. The mission, they told us, was to promote student achievement and enforce these federal education laws and manage funding, keyword funding for schools, and setting national priorities and collecting student loan information, just information on kids, nudging states with grants tied to different policy goals. But we found out that all of this going on, the department mostly is just using money and regulations to influence behavior from Washington. And, John, we learned during the COVID period, especially parents, what was going on with the school unions and their education and what the kids were being taught and all these ideologies. And parents want reading, writing, and arithmetic. So let me tell you why this week this is so important, because now the Department of Education will be broken up, basically kind of just money running through it, nothing happening to empower parents or kids. They're going to give pieces of it to different agencies such as the Department of Labor, Department of Interior, Department of State, and Department of Health and Human Services. They're going to give them each a chunk to work directly so we can get down to the bottom of making our schools great again. So what does this mean for parents? It means that they will have school choice. It also means they will have a say in something. It also means it'll, raise our education standards. And the president is also urging that we are going to work with Congress to make things happen, again, with the goal of empowering our kids. We cannot have kids K through 12 failing at all these subjects. It's just not going to happen. So it's scaling back federal oversight, giving states the control so we don't have all this mess going on, and local decision-making, again, in the community. That is the goal. That has always been the goal of President Trump, to get rid of this and to establish somehow a Department of Education that would really work, because nothing has worked. And this tour that Secretary McMahon is on is absolutely wonderful, because she's going to be touring now. She started a few weeks ago, right through 2026. So I think this is excellent news, helping parents, helping families, and again, empowering our kids, our future American adults, our future American leaders, to make the United States great.
Well, I mean, it all sounds great. Tell me what's actually going to happen. Is this bill signed, or is it an executive order? What is it?
This is an executive order as of last Tuesday, that the president said. Now, he has talked about this. since even he was campaigning.
Are the federal courts going to allow him to do that?
Well, you know what? It's going to have to go to Congress. And I think he's going to make it happen because he's talked about this a lot in the past.
Is there any bipartisan report? Is there any bipartisan support?
There is bipartisan support. Absolutely. Anything we talk about, John, with the Warriors has bipartisan support. That is our goal. I know it sounds...
So, in other words, they'll be able to go, the kids will be able to go to any school they really want?
That's the goal of it, that parents will have a say in this. Look, we've talked forever about, you pay your taxes. You should be able to pick what school, whether it's private, it's charter. Homeschooling, a report was just out this past week that said 7% of American children K through 12 are now being homeschooled. There is a new saying. It's called the unschooling because, again, the schools were supposed to be, safe and education and learning have become these kind of political places where the kids are learning everything but the reading, writing, and arithmetic. So we don't want unschooling. We want empowerment. And it's been slipping every year in the last 5 years as more and more kids are getting homeschooled, which there's nothing wrong. That's your choice if you're a parent and you're able to do that. But, John, not a lot of parents can stay home and homeschool their kids. So we have to do better in America to help our children. I think this is going to work. I don't think there'll be a lot of pushback, and I'll tell you why, because a lot of monies went through that Department of Education and ended up who knows where. So I think a lot of people don't want to open up those, cans of worms about all that stuff.
And what's the timetable for something like that happening? It has to go to Congress first?
Yes, and it's looking to happen in the first quarter of 2026, which is right around the corner. It's here, practically 2026. This has been worked on behind the scenes since last March, and they're ready to unleash this. I really don't think there's going to be pushback because there's been such chaos on that front. And once and for all,
our kids, I've seen it. I've seen it happen ever since COVID. Our kids have been suffering. Their math scores are down. Their reading scores are down. And between COVID and the fentanyl and the marijuana and all the drugs, it's hurting our kids.
Hurting our kids, but we also have to cut off, which is President Trump's one of his main, talking points, agendas. We have to cut off the wasteful spending. Can you imagine, John, if we took this money and directly poured it into where we could actually see it into teaching our kids and qualifying? There's a lot of murky stuff going on with the Department of Education. Yeah. So let's take that money. Let's now distribute it to those different departments, Department of Labor, Department of Interior, and really get working because the feeling with the administration is if those four departments have now each a chunk, they will really get busy. They know what they have to do. And remember, this all trickles down to our precious kids and to our families, John. And we say every week they are overwhelmed. They can't handle all this. We need to help them and step up. So this is a fantastic week. We should be celebrating this. This is a big step.
Well, Lynn Shaw, Lynn's Warriors. People want more information. What is it, lynswarriors.org?
There you go, lynswarriors.org. Community creates change is our hashtag. We want everybody to contact us, join us, and we want everyone to be a warrior in their own home and community.
Thank you so much for coming on, and keep defending our kids.
Thanks, John.